So most of you know the dimension box that looks like this. However, there's a bit more to the dimension box than just plotting in your dimension, as I will show you. So if we start off by looking at the dimension box, we have the accept button and we have the cancel button. Next, we have the rebuild button. This gives you the option to rebuild the model with the dimension that is currently written. And there, this meaning you can test your dimensions before pressing enter. The next button is the reverse button. To show this, I'm just going to zoom out. And this gives you the option to reverse that dimension if you want to. Okay. You also have the option to increment the dimension by a certain amount. Now, before showing you this, I just want to show where the default location is for these values. Within the options, go to the spin box increments, and here we have the values for IPS, the metric system, angle, and time. And okay, so these are the standard settings for your machine. Let's zoom in again here. Okay, as I said, within the dimension box, you have the option to change the increment. So just write the value you want and press enter. Now, if you press make default, it will overwrite the current default setting. To use the increment, we have three options. One, you can press the arrows on the right side of the dimension box, and the number will increase or decrease depending on the arrow you press. The other option is to use a slider that's under the dimension. This also allows you to modify your dimension. And finally, you can also use the mouse wheel to increase or decrease the dimension as you see fit. The next button is marked for drawing. This button allows you to decide if a dimension is to be imported to the drawing upon view creation. This is active by default. You can also name your dimension. Now, this might come in handy if you want to refer to it at a later time. And finally, there's of course the input field. You can input dimensions, and you can use mathematical symbols like plus, minus, divide, multiply. You can also create equations within your dimensions. Just add an equal sign in the beginning of the dimension. And you can, for instance, add a custom property. Or you can use another dimension. Let's take this one. Just click on it. By using standard mathematical symbols, as I told you before, I can create a dynamic dimension. Times 3. Great. If I update this dimension from 100 to 150, yes, and okay, then the equation updates accordingly. And that was the basics of the dimension box. Let's move on to a bit more dimensioning.